Okay.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. That's me, still covering Big Brother 25 because we have the postseason in full effect. Today, I'm going to be reacting and roasting some Big Brother postseason clips. So sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, hit that like and subscribe, and please leave your comments in the comment section, and let's have some fun roasting and recapping all the Big Brother 25 postseason craziness.
So you said that the conversations that y'all were having during the jury roundtable, it kind of skews how people decide to vote. You and Miss Sari are the only two to vote for Matt in the final vote to take home all the money. How did you come to that vote? Like, what's your thought process in making that decision?
Now, going in, I still had not totally decided who I wanted to give my vote to. So I really was waiting to see who was going to be sitting in the final two chairs. Now, outright, do I think that Jag deserved it? Yes. I'm not even going to lie. Do I think that Jag played the best game? Yes.
I love that Felicia is just admitting outright, yes. Did Jag deserve it? Okay. I guess he did. Did I vote for him? Okay. I did not. I did not vote for him.
Because Jag was able to manipulate people through that entire game. Jag got put out by unanimous vote and came back. Jag won 7 vetoes. Jag took me off the block twice. Jag mastered people in that game. I ain't gonna lie. Jag was able to lie in your face, and that soft, calm presence that he had made you just believe and trust all along that he was your ace in the hole. And in the end, I started feeding Jag a lot of information. Now, here's why. Because I realized that Sari was way closer to Matt than I was. And I knew that when push came to shove, Matt was going to keep Sari over me. So I knew I had a better relationship with Jag. So I had to figure out how to get Jag to have some mistrust with Sari, because what I also knew is that Jag was running Matt. Whether Matt ever wants to acknowledge that or not, Jag really was the one that was pulling all the strings for everybody between him and Bowie Jane. They were never going to make a move that Jag didn't approve. And I knew that. So if I could get closer to Jag, who I knew would in the end would save me over them, then I was still going to be okay. That's how I ended up staying in the house longer than Sari.
Well, Felicia, you definitely went up there and spilled all the beans about Sari. But did it work out to your benefit? Ooh, I mean, I don't think it worked out the way she fully wanted it to, but I can see what she's saying here, where she was like trying to set herself apart from Sari and trying to solidify something very strong or continue to build this bond with Jag, since Sari did seemingly have Matt in her back pocket.
Because Matt and Bowie Jane would have put me out. Jag kept me. I almost had Jag convinced to take Matt down and keep me in that final 3. He was close. He was close. But in the end, I got tired of chasing. I got tired of talking, and I got tired of trying to manipulate, basically. And I just said, I don't want to do it anymore. He's got to make a decision, and whatever works for him, I'm good. Because at that point, day 96, I was tired. And I just said, if I leave, I leave. And I'm okay. I made it 96 days, and I'm okay with that.
Amen.
And I think actually Jag's demeanor when he gave that final, tell us why you deserve to win, I don't know. He just kind of had such an aggressive final speech that it was kind of a turnoff to me.
I have all of the blood on my hands. Every move that's ever been made and everything in this house is because of me. I am the leader. I am bathing in your blood. I am Jag Baines, winner of Big Brother 25.
Because that was the first time I heard him become so assertive and aggressive that I didn't like that look on Jag. And I was like, no, now you didn't have to throw Matt under the bus like that. I knew that Jag was going to be a better presenter than Matt. I knew that Matt wasn't going to sell himself well, but I didn't like the fact that Jag took advantage of that, because all he had to do was get up and talk like he had talked for the rest of the 100 days and still said the same thing, but said it in a nicer presentation. And so with that, that's what made me say, you know what? I'm giving this to Matt. Even though I know you deserve to be the winner and I know you're probably going to win, I'm still giving this to Matt. And that's what made me give it to Matt.
I don't really understand this argument where Jag's speech was too aggressive or assertive. That's kind of what you want in that final two, as opposed to Matt, who's like, hey guys, no one was a leader. My biggest move in the game was keeping the guy who's going to beat me in the game sitting next to me. And I was never on the block, kind of, but when I was, it was because of paper, rock, scissors. Okay, I did scissors, he did rock. Everybody knows rock crushes scissors. You can't scissors a rock because they don't scissor back.
Oh, Mama Fee, girl, listen, that is a mess. Okay.
A mess. Because at the end of the day, I still feel like you always have to be kind to people. And I just thought in that moment, I didn't think Jag was kind to Matt.
I love this idea that in the final two, you should be kind to each other. You should basically do what Matt did and kindly hand the person next to you the win. Choose kindness. See, Julia Moonves is ruining this game because what does she say? Be kind, love one another, and now look what's happening.
Well, listen, me personally, he took him to final two, so I don't think you get more kinder than that. Because I'm gonna tell you this: if y'all would have saw me in those final two chairs, I'd have been like, "No, you didn't. No, she didn't. I did, and I said, and I was."
Perfectly said.
And that's what Matt should have been doing. He should have let everybody know, I used the path to power to him with something, and that's the only reason why he's still here.
Matt mentioned the path to power way too much. He was not prepared for that final speech. He did not give good reasons why he should win. He did not indicate to the jury that he was pulling any strings. He was like,
yeah, bro, we just like broed out and then we paper, rock, scissors. And yeah, it was just kind of like really cool. And I miss water and swimming. And I can swim fast. Thank you. Bet you've never seen that before.
And you're like, huh? What did this guy just say? And he did not give the reasons or any, explanation of how powerful his social game was. It was
a horrendous final speech.
The worst possibly I've ever heard. It was like if Raven gave a final two speech.
Oh, you were working with Paul? Well, I was special working with him. You might have thought you were working with him, but I majored in dance. And I'm a part of Mensa. And my mom was hit by lightning, so pretty sure he's working with me more.
And that's why I say, Matt, somebody needed to be there to coach Matt on how to do his presentation at that final two. He should have been working with somebody when there was 4 or 5 people trying to prep him for his but again, ain't nobody gonna do that, because if you're the one sitting next to him, you don't want to prep him to beat you. And so he didn't sell himself well. And that's really why he lost. If he had made the right presentation, I still believe Matt could have talked himself into the win like Jag did. Jag sold himself that night and got that win.
I kind of do think, though, that Dr. Will might have coached Jag on his final two speech, because it gave me feelings of like Dr. Will wannabe in a little bit. He's like, I hate all of you and I hope you all go home, put me on the block. I don't even care. I got your blood on my hands. I'll do it again. I did it before. It feels very Dr. Will. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Will pulled him aside, conspiracy theory, and was like, bro, no, I know Dr. Will. He doesn't watch the damn show.
Yeah, well, I've talked to Jag since, and Jag is like, yeah, going into that, like, selling yourself is kind of where you need to be, because at this point, it's all out. Like, you have nothing else to lose, and I'm pretty sure that probably going into it, Jag probably thinks that, and I think he's even said that. He said that on the package before you got to the final vote, is that he assumed that y'all were gonna give it to Matt. Right. Off of just pure jury management. Like, Jag felt like he probably burnt more bridges.
Exactly.
did more backstabbing than Matt had done, because he made more promises to people that he wasn't ultimately able to keep
Right.
than Jag was, or than what Matt was. So I think going into it, I was also like, oh, they are probably giving this to Matt, although I do feel like Jag deserved to win. I was like, oh, they're probably going to give this to Matt. And then so the votes come out, and it's just you and Miss Rhea. I'm like, ooh, I wanted to know what really happened at that jury roundtable, because I was like, this. Because we don't get to hear the speeches. We don't get to hear the questions. Like, we don't hear any of that. We just get out there and we see what the votes say when y'all see us sitting on stage. So I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Any of
Yeah, I really think that the conversations that night, the questions that were asked, and they weren't, they asked Matt, tell us what things you did where you were the influencer and made the big moves. Because it always seemed like, Jag was Batman and you were Robin. So tell us when you were Batman. And again, Matt was never really able to sell himself in his conversation. And I think that's what cost him his win. I think if he had been as good a communicator as Jag was, he probably would have won that.
Whoa, Felicia, you just got done telling us that you didn't like the way Jag presented his final speeches and how he communicated it. But now you're saying if he was this guy, I love Felicia because it is entertaining as hell, even though sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Hope of a mustard seed that we get more Felicias, more entertainment. All right. I don't need all winners, but I do need some entertainment.
That was his downfall. Because he should have talked about his relationships more. He should have talked about how he used that path to power. He should have talked about how, if he was throwing comps, he should have told, I threw a comp on this week, that week. He had to be able to lay out what he did strategically in his game and how deliberate he was in playing his game. And he just was not able to do that.
I think from my purview, just having lived with Matt for 65 days, I think they both have very similar qualities in terms of their social game. Like, Jag is very charismatic and very funny, and you just like to hang around him as a friend, and Jag has that going for himself. You just want to hang around him and just have a good time and laugh and kiki. Whereas Matt, you never feel like Matt is telling you a lie. You always feel like Matt is telling you the truth. He just feels so authentic and so trustworthy. You sit and have a one-on-one conversation with him, and you feel like this man is not lying to me. Even if you in my heart, I'm like, I think he lying, but you just don't want to believe that. There's just something about Matt that makes you not want to believe that he's not telling you the truth, even when you should know better. And I think that's also a strength. So going into them being the final two, I was like, oh, this is gonna it's gonna be a tough decision to make, because essentially at this point you are deciding between a heavenly competitive athletic game, comp beast game, and a strong a strong social game. And so yeah, listen, when I saw y'all come down to the final decision, I was like, okay, I want to know what really happened in that jury roundtable, because Dr. Will said it was messy, and it was okay in the edited episode, but
also was revealed in that jury roundtable was that even though Jag did a lot of lying, people knew when he was lying. Matt
Jack's not that good of a liar.
Matt did way more lying, but people, I think, they didn't realize it until late in the game. They said Matt was lying through the whole game. Now, when you go back and you look at those live feeds, Matt had a little bit of a mean little spirit in him too.
I wonder if Felicia has seen all of the live feeds and all of the mean spirit within Matt. Ooh, that's some mean spirit in there. Yeah, we saw it, Felicia.
But you didn't see it unless you were in the room with him when he was doing some of this underhanded cutthroat stuff and saying some of these underhanded cutthroat things about people. So Matt showed you who he wanted you to see, that all-American nice guy. But with the 3 or 4 people that he was truly tight with and aligned with, Matt said some stuff behind closed doors.
Oh, not the all-American guy thing again.
And I think somehow that probably got out to people more than he realized. And so that nice all-American guy that everybody wanted to believe he was, they found out he really wasn't.
Oh, modesty.
That came out at the round table. It's like, oh no, Matt did a whole lot of lying in the game. Oh, okay, I guess I missed all of that.
Well, it's the crazy thing is obviously both of us are fans of the show and have watched it for years. And before you go into the house, you think that you have such a clear idea of how you want to play the game, like how you can easily tell if people are lying to you, like what game moves are good and which ones are not. But honestly, when you are in the game, you are always operating on half truths and half information, and it's really hard to navigate that in a way that is like productive to your individual game, because you just don't know, like on the live feeds or even in the edited episodes, like you're following specific storylines here, and you're privy to specific information that you may not be privy to in the game, which is how like people are like, I come out there like, how did you know brown sugar base was the real thing? I'm like, every conversation that all four of us had, it felt like the real thing to me. You know what I mean? So you're always just operating on half informations and like half truth. Okay, I got one last question because this I want to know. So the last couple weeks that y'all were in the house, there was a lot of conversation about you and Miss Cerie appearing to be or feel like isolated. Did y'all really feel like what was happening? Yeah.
Good question, Mimi. Yes, we want to hear about this isolation and the way that Felicia and Cerie were treated toward the end of the game. Tell us more, because we know the edited episodes of Big Brother told us nothing and showed us nothing of this behavior, but it was quite a big deal within the house.
What was happening?
Yeah, that's true. And I was a little disappointed in that. That really shifted me. When there was 5 of us left, it was Matt, Jag, and Bowie Jane, and then me and Cerie. And for 2 or 3 days, they basically stayed upstairs in the HOH, and me and Cerie were downstairs. And it was they wasn't talking to us. If we cooked, they would eat something. And so when we realized that, so to give you an example, we had asked Mr. B, I think when we got to day 90, could we get some drinks, some wine, so that we could celebrate day 90. It's like, there's only 10 days left. And finally, Mr. B brings us a bottle of wine. Now, again, here's what people needed to know. Bowie Jane had a bottle of wine from her HOH that she still had. Matt had a bottle of wine from his HOH. So they had 2 bottles of wine amongst the 3 of them. They still took the 1 bottle of wine that they gave us and 2 beers, I think, and they made us split that 1 bottle of wine 5 ways. And then they went upstairs after we split our 1 bottle of wine 5 ways and drank the other 2 bottles with just the 2 of them. They didn't invite us upstairs to ask if we wanted to join in. They didn't invite us upstairs to just sit and chat and hang out. So me and Cerie really were just kind of downstairs by ourselves, like we were this group in the house, and it was like 2 different alliances in the house. And it was very, very obvious that they were isolating us.
Fucking Bowie Jane, am I right? Jag, how did your game change? And I'm gonna say for the better when you joined the mafia with money. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Here. My parents are here. They've been here since October because they thought I was gonna get evicted. Then I'm stealing the game. I can't close my mouth. It is scientifically impossible for me to close my mouth.
That is not good social game etiquette, to hoard the alcohol and have other people find out. I mean, 1 bottle of wine 5 ways, the alcoholic in me is screaming. What?
And I can just hear Bowie Giant. Well, Felicia, come on up to the room. I'll offer you some Listerine. It's delicious, allegedly. Allegedly, it's delicious. And sometimes you don't have to spit it out. You just drink it down. And it'll get your tummy smelling good, fresh. You got good gum health. And it also goes down to your intestines. It's intense. It's an intense feeling when it goes down. But you got to do it, Felicia.
And then I think 2 nights before we had that last eviction, before Cerie left, I even went in the kitchen. Cerie was in the bedroom, and I went in the kitchen because I was irritated. So I said I was going to go say something. And I went into the kitchen, and Matt, Jag, and Bowie Jane were all in there. I stood at the counter for all, say, 20 to 30 minutes. None of them said anything to me. It was like I wasn't even standing there. They were talking all around me. They were fixing themselves something to eat.
Fixing themselves something to eat after everything this woman made for you with her bare hands, everything she mixed for you, like that guy from Scary Movie when he was like serving them the mashed potatoes with his fingers. After all that, they couldn't even offer her one of their shitty quesadillas.
And so finally I said to Matt, Matt, you know you still have some pineapples and stuff up here on the counter that you left that you would grill the other day. I said, so you probably want to put that in the refrigerator. And nobody's still saying, they ain't even making eye contact with me. And I'm just standing there at the end of the counter just waiting to see how long will they let me stand here before they acknowledge that I'm actually standing here. Finally, Bowie Jane, she gets this smirky look on her face, and she's trying not to laugh. I see her looking at Jag and trying to see if I can see her. She's like side-eyeing me. And so finally I looked at her. I said, what's so funny, Bowie Jane? Oh, I just thought I was getting ready to spill some food out of my mouth, and I was just trying not to laugh. And so then when she realized that I had seen her, she got up and she went outside. Matt got up and he went outside. And then I stood there and I said, Jag, what's going on? What do you mean? I said, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I said, I don't like what I'm feeling right now. I said, you guys are actually almost isolating me and Three like we just don't matter in the house. I said, now, in another day or two, there's only going to be 4 people in the house. I said, you guys going to do this and leave one person in the house downstairs by themselves all day long for a week? I said, are you guys going to be those people? I said, because this don't feel right. I said, and I didn't realize that that's who you were. So I was irritated. I'm sorry I didn't mean to. And, you know, I was just fixing my food, and I wasn't really talking to anybody. I said, no, I know you felt what just happened, because I felt what just happened.
Jag's like, nothing's wrong. Because when Jag lies, he looks down and he does the whisper. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. And if you watch the live feeds, you saw him do that. He's a horrible liar. So Felicia is just being blunt and like, what's the deal, Ally McBeal? And he's like, so, nothing. You know, and the fact that Bowie Jane is just standing there and then she starts laughing basically about Felicia as she's standing there. Felicia's like, what's so funny, Bowie Jane? Okay. And Bowie Jane's like, hey, not near. I'm not laughing. I farted. He said farted. I have a little gas, and he came out. And you understand, right, Felicia? I farted and I burped at the same time. And then I held it in. And it was hilarious. It was intense. And that was my reaction. I have to go now. And just ran out. So awkward.
And I even went into the diary room. I said, you know, it bothers me that at this stage in the game, when we've been in here this long, these guys can do people this way. I said, and I'm trying to be nice in my conversation. I said, but I think everybody that's watching can feel what's going on. I said, and I don't like that. I said, and this is the kind of stuff that has happened this entire game. People feel like they can do you any kind of way and it don't matter. And I said, and I don't like that. And so I kind of got in my feelings over that. And when I was in there those last, let's see, 3 left on 93, I left on 96. For 3 days, I was pretty much by myself. I think one day, I think it was day 94 or 95, they actually closed the HOH room down. And it was supposed to be for a couple hours, and it ended up being for dang near the whole day. Now, this is my gut feeling, this is my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I think they did it as a way to force those guys downstairs so that they wouldn't leave me downstairs by myself.
I bet you this gut feeling of Felicia's is actually right, you know, because I think that the, you know, production, they see what's going on. They see the isolation. And so they probably did close the HOH room to just force them downstairs. So they didn't really deal with the problem in the house or show the problem or let it play out. Instead, they just put a Band-Aid on it. So I think Felicia's gut is right about that.
One day I literally sat downstairs at the new table. They brought in the table for 4. I sat downstairs at that table by myself, literally all day long, playing solitaire by myself.
When she says she sat downstairs by herself and played solitaire by herself, I mean, that's kind of the point of the game. Solitaire. I know in Big Brother, we see people watching other people play solitaire towards the end of the game, but it's meant to be played alone. And also, Quit giving the house guests cards. Once the deck of cards comes out, it's over. The season's over. They should just call the winner there. Because the minute we see that godforsaken lack of a mustard seed deck of cards come out into the Big Brother house, it's just like, oh shit. All you hear, shuffle, cards, cards, cards. People stop talking. The game is over. It's done. They don't need cards. They'll get cards in like 8 days, 10 days when the show's over.
And they stayed upstairs in the HOH. Yeah. And I just said, you know what? And that's when I felt like it's time for me to go. I don't even care that I don't make it to the final 3, the final 2, because this kind of stuff, this will make me say stuff that I don't want to say, do stuff. And when I felt that kind of negative energy and behavior, I didn't want to be in there. So I held 2 conversations with Jag, and I said, I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to beg you to keep me. I said, I told you where I'm coming from. I said, I've been talking to you since almost the beginning of the game. I said, in the last few weeks, month or so, we've really gotten tight. I said, and I've told you, I said, I have not lied to you about anything that I've told you about what's going on. I said, you can trust it, you can take it, you can do whatever you want with it. I said, all I'm going to say is I think it's a mistake to you if you keep Matt. I trusted that you and I had a connection, clearly that was not as deep as I thought it was. I said, so do what works for your game. That's all I'm saying. And I didn't say anything else to him about what he was going to do.
Okay, so here Felicia definitely has her hand over the mic on the bottom of the phone. She's definitely holding it like that and covering it, because my mom, shout out to Nana. We love Nana. Nana does this all the time. She's just like, oh, hi, what, you can't hear me? Why? I don't know why. I'm like, Mom, you're covering up the bottom of the phone. I'm the bottom. What do I, Where's the bottom? At the bottom. Like this? And I'm like, yes, like this. So I think that's what's going on with Felicia there, because it is a muffle.
I saw all the goofies that they did. And so that's another reason I think why I gave my vote to Matt versus Jag. I didn't like the fact that when Jag was throwing you under the bus, he never had the guts to tell you.
It sounds like Felicia's vote for Matt over Jag is due to Jag's lack of jury management. She didn't feel like he managed her well as she was leaving the house. And I mean, that's understandable. And it just goes to show how important it is, because she said she thought Jag played a better game, but she did not like the way that she was treated and his jury management. And so she didn't give him his vote. Hence why the social aspect of this game is so damn important. It's not just comps. This ain't the challenge. This is not the challenge. Also, future players, always own your game. Own your game. Know your game and own your game. Make sure you own your game on the way out as people are going. And if you don't, if you're not able to do that, own it at the end. But you got to own it. People, I hear this so many seasons. I would have voted for them. I would have had more respect for them. I would have this, that, or the other thing, had they, had the guts, like Felicia's saying here, to tell you and own your game. So own your game. Ride with.
There was some negative energy the last week to 10 days, and it was very draining. It was exhausting.
Honestly, once you get to that point, and I left on day 65 and I was exhausted. I slept for a week. Okay. I was exhausted by day 65. Not even physically, just literally.
You're emotionally drained.
And not for nothing, honestly, $750,000 on the line. There are very few things that people are not willing to say and not willing to do to get to that chunk of change.
There you go.
I mean, that is a mess.
It was a
mess. So,
You guys heard it, right? That was a fart. That was a Felicia fart. That was gassy Mama Fee. She definitely was like, pushed it out like she did on Cerie's bed. I had to listen a couple times and I'm like, that is a fart. I put my AirPods in. It's a fart. A fart is a fart is a fart is a fart. That's a Felicia fart. She farted. And it wouldn't be a Felicia moment without gas. She's sassy, gassy, and oh so classy. And we love it.
So for me, because I've said this and I've had people ask me like, are you bitter or who do you da-da-da-da? And I'm like, for me on day 65, when I left the house, when I left the game, I left everything that happened, that was said, that was done in the game, because that no longer serves me in the real world. Like I said, I talked about people talked about me, I talked about evicted people, they talked about evicted me, I voted people voted me out. Like, it just is what it is. None of that actually serves me in the real world. So it was a game, we played it. This is a social game, if nothing else, that is literally supposed to pit you against other people for a chance at $750,000. It's not supposed to make y'all friends. It's not supposed to make y'all like each other. It's not supposed to make y'all give affirmations and speak each other love languages. They want us to rip each other apart for that $750,000. Point blank, period. So for me, when I left all of that there. I have no issue. I'm not upset about anything, because that's it for me.
She is so damn logical. I wish I was this logical. I wish I was like half as logical as Mimi is, but I'm just not. It's just not in me. It's not in me. I'm way more emo. Okay, so can we like sign a change.org or some kind of petition or something to get Mimi as the host of this damn show? No matter how you think she played her game, she definitely understands this game. Whether she was able to execute this understanding is a totally different argument that we could have. But she gets it. And the point she's making, chef's kiss, because we have this new generation of Big Brother that's like, I just want to be a nice person in the house. And it's like, you can be a decent person and still tell some fibbies, still tell some lies, still write some checks that your ass can't cash. You can do that and play the damn game. Okay, this isn't the nice people game. We have too many people at the end. We saw it this season where they're like, we're the good people. We don't want that. Okay, we're going to cheer for the villain over you, who at least knows they're the villain, because you guys who say you're nice are always the villain and you don't even realize it. And it's not fun to watch. All right, so I love this answer from Mimi, and I think she gets it. And I just think, Julia Moonves, we have to move on. It's hard for me sometimes because I remember Julie Chen, and I loved Julie Chen. But Julia Moonves, I can't. We can't keep having this toxic relationship. You don't even watch the show. You don't know what's going on. You're just, you got that. But first, God, or but God first, or God first God.
Did you at one point say you were an atheist? No, you didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then, you know what? I might be confusing things, but
keep going with that. Okay? Hand over the reins of Big Brother to Mimi. I think she would be a really good host. What if I don't want to love one another? Did you ever think of that, Julia? Think about it.
You're right. It doesn't serve you. Am I angry or bitter with anybody? No, because like you said, you don't gain anything from that. And I'll be holding that and them going on with their lives and they thinking twice about me. So you can't. And I realize it is the game. I have to say, I am going to say this though, there's a little bit of disappointment in the sense that I'm all in for talking and telling lies and cheating and stealing and throwing people under the bus when it's strictly game. I think when some of the comments that were made became more personal versus game, that's when it's a little disheartening. And all I say is, when people show you who they are, believe them. And so I saw some stuff that made me say, okay, you just showed me who you are, and I'm believing it all day long. So does it cause me to say, I will, if I see you, I can be cordial, I can be nice, I don't have no ill will, and I really don't. But do I feel like I need to skin and grin and, hey girl, how you doing? No, I don't feel like I need to do that either, because I don't know, I kind of draw a line on, again, what was game and what became more some stuff that, even like when I used to hear people call Matt dumb, that offended me, and I'm not Matt.
What? What? When did anyone call Matt dumb? Did they stop the feeds every time someone? I don't remember anyone calling Matt dumb on the feeds. Feel free to sound off in the comments section if you heard this, but I don't remember this.
But I just said, that's not, I don't believe you have to do all of that. Mm-mm. Even if you actually really think that, you ain't supposed to say that out loud, because now you're going into more of a personal attack. That's where I draw the line with game and just say, don't be that person. Like when I would hear a lot of these guys say, I hate them, it's like, I don't think there's anything that somebody should do in this house to cause you to say, I hate you. Because it's a game.
She's definitely talking about Izzy there, about I hate him situation, because it's that iconic moment where Izzy was on the live feeds crying because Felicia was telling her, you don't have to say you hate Cameron. You don't hate him. You're just mad at him. She's like, I hate that I can't say I hate him because I do hate him. Playing the flute. Hate song for Cameron.
And so you got to be careful when you make statements like that, because it's still it's showing something in you. So yeah. But again, I'm not bitter. I don't hold no grudges. I'm going through, and I'm gonna watch the show all the way through, laugh about some crazy stuff. And again, I know I said some crazy stuff, but I tried to keep it game and never say I can't stand her because her breath stink, and her mama probably did. No. See, that's where you're going too far.
Okay.
Well, that was a great little interview on Instagram Live that Mimi did with Felicia, and that is the end of that interview. If you want to see earlier parts of the interview, I have videos. I'll link them at the end of this one where I feature segments of the interview. So definitely check those out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think Felicia might be a little bitter still, and that's okay. I think everyone's, except for Mimi, is going to be a little bit bitter for a little bit. Leaving a situation like that, people are going to have some feelings. They're going to feel some type of way. And I think Felicia is definitely feeling some type of way. But please, like I said, sound off in the comments, hit that like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll be back. I have a lot more BB25 postseason stuff. You guys, I am just wading my way through it. Thank you guys so much. Again, hit the like. Bye. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.